Already made my first mistake. Look at that. Hi, everyone. Welcome. URL Racing is back. We're at a Champions Cup. You might notice we have a very sharp dressed man with us today. Mass Chef was unfortunately unable to make it today. So I get to run the show today, which, means good luck to all of us. With that being said, Elijah, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me here. Good to be here, and thanks for having me here. It's always a good time to be here.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to this and kind of being able to get the Champions Cup started. It's another season of URL Racing. We have some good racers. I mean, I'm expecting this to be pretty exciting and crazy. We have some good tracks. We have some new tracks coming on board, including the URL HQ track. As again, I am not Mass Chef, and so I don't have all the prep work he does, like, the tracks and everything else. But we are doing the URL HQ track. It is a very simple track. We'll do, let me try this. Like I said, we're going to just wing it and see what happens. So wish me luck. The track itself is the URL HQ lap. It's in Vegas. It's 1.8 miles. If you notice, it's just a very simple loop. There are a couple little twists and turns. So down at the bottom, there's actually a little kind of chicane, I guess is what Mass Chef would say. I don't know if I would call it a chicane, but down in the bottom left corner, it's not just a straight kind of come into the turn. You have to actually turn and turn it again. So it almost creates a small little S. It should be pretty fast. I'm not sure what time people have been clocking, but I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. With that, we do have some amazing drivers coming in. Let me see if I can get the. I don't have all of it set up the way Mass Chef does, but I think I have something else that I can use. Let me just get to it.
Hey man, congratulations on that HQ track. It looks good.
Yeah, if I told you how long it took me to get that track to be approved, well, and some of the challenges, I don't know. I have this love-hate relationship with Upland in some ways. We tend to be so early on in doing things. It's like URL was one of the first tracks submitted, and it only got approved recently. We've been working on another project for some assets, digital assets in Upland, and that's been taking some time. And again, it's because we were the first ones to submit, and there was a lot of problems back and forth. So a lot of learning experiences. But in the end, I think that the idea is we all get to enjoy it and we all get to have a good time with it. At least that's the hope. What was that? News alert?
Attack with cell phones.
Oh, it was like news alert. I'm almost kind of I almost want that.
There we go.
All right. Let me. I want to show the drivers. Let me see if I can. No, I don't have a pretty way to show the drivers, but I'll do this. I just realized how much work Mass Chef puts into getting the show done.
Yeah, it's a full production.
It really is, and he does a lot of work, and I can't wait for him to get back, only because I am not great at all this. But with that said, I do want to show real quick who the drivers are. It's not, as I said, it's not super pretty, but it's better than nothing. All right, so we have Buleman, Philos, KO Ninja, Matsuda R, Mwaga Mizzy, Recurrier, Stan Kicker, hello SC Kicker, TB 125, and Wonder in 1976. A lot of these you know from previous races. Phalos was coming in as an alt driver for JH last season. Rick Courier is jumping into racing this season, which is going to be fun to see him racing. And SC Kicker raced very early on, and now he's back. So we also have some teams that have kind of come together. I've always said that Upland Racing is starting to turn into kind of a team event, especially when you're competing at high levels. And so we have the High Park Ninjas coming as a team. We have Castle Elite Racing coming in as a team. And of course, the ever dangerous, ever on top, MMVM, the Mahoney MV Motors Group, coming back. And if you look at, when you see their driver's card, you see that they just have been winning. And I think they've won all 3 of the seasons. One of their drivers has won all 3 of the seasons. So it should be interesting. With that being said, what do you think is going to happen this season? And I'm going to jump in and let the drivers know that they can get it started.
Well, I think I think the season should intensify as the drivers are becoming more and more familiar with the tracks, the turns, and how to not, to maximize on racing. People are running these tracks constantly just to get kind of used to the curves and all of those things count. So I think you're going to see a lot more people using the tracks. You may, you see people racing on the track. You may find yourself racing against one of these people.
Yeah. Well, and the calendar has been posted, so all the drivers know what tracks are being raced on. And talking about tracks, Upland just announced their New York City track, which is kind of cool. It's on it plays right off a monument. So they really are kind of leaning into these monuments versus just landmarks. So that should be pretty awesome to see. I'm looking forward to seeing how that track. I wonder if Upland would be willing to get their URL sanction. They're going to have to work hard because I don't think they can meet the 40% requirement.
they do have to be sanctioned, though. They have to be sanctioned, but I'm sure we could, encourage them properly through every step. But
yeah. Have them create a little community owners group of the track and bring some of those players that are on the track into a little community group so that they can get sanctioned by URL.
Sounds like a winner, man. Yeah, I like the landmarks on the tracks. It's starting with the first one in San Francisco, the Embarcadero and that whole area. So just the those on the track look pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's going to be cool. Like I said, when we look at tracks, what we look for is tracks that have personality to them, that have development on them, right? It's not just an empty lot. No one wants to race on an empty lot. They want to see, the structures and everything else. And actually, we're going to end the Champions Cup season in a track all too well.
Yes, over at the Ithaca Run Race Course in El Sereno, home
That's
of
right.
LA.
Yeah, you've been with us since the very beginning, and it's kind of nice to see that you're still here, you're still engaged in the racing economy. You're building up a lot more than just kind of a little bit here and there. So it's been fun to see it develop. So the lobby has been created. We have everyone in. I'm going to go in and so that we can do a little screen share. Let me get into racing, and then once I'm in, we will okay, I know what it is. I got to let the team know to start because we have 5 drivers. So this season we have 10 drivers, which just kind of goes to show the S1Rs are not common. It is kind of the top. So we have 5 drivers instead of 6 drivers in the qualifying heats. For those that are new to URL racing, we always do the qualifying heats. We don't do qualifying laps, we do qualifying heats. And then the qualifying heats will lead to the final race. So we do 3 races each race day, and they will determine kind of who our top 6 finishers are. Let me see if I can get in now as a spectator. Excellent. So we will move to doing the share. I think
it's coming.
Yep. Oh, come on. All right, there we go. I need to make this like full screen. Oh, well, that's the best I can do. Oh, wow. All right, here we go. MWAGA is off the top. Let's move into helicopter view and get a better.
It's wild early.
Picture. Oh. Yeah. KO Ninja off to a big start, pushing hard on a track that doesn't have a lot of twists and turns. I've noticed that the strategy has been to try to get to the front and keep the front. And here we go. Buleman making a push onto third, trying to put Phalos and Matsuda. Matsuda is still kind of sitting there. KO Ninja boosting. Oh, everyone's boosting. MWAGA, KO Ninja. Matsuda is now up to third. Buleman, Matsuda, MWAGA, Phalos. KO Ninja with a very nice, comfortable lead. It seems that his strategy to take off is paying off. Oh, here we go. Move being made. Matsuda moving into second spot. Again, so the way it works is the top 3 of each qualifying heat will make it to the final 6. So placing in 1, 2, or 3 in this race is what is important. Oh, did you see that? Phalos was trying to get it there, and he had a little bit of a skid out with got blocked out, but Buleman now falls to 5th spot, MWAGA, and got blocked out right there at the end. KO Ninja still holding that lead. Matsuda in second, MWAGA in third, Phalos and Buleman 4th and 5th. Even though the track is very straightforward, they're still making it kind of exciting. Matsuda trying to catch up to KO Ninja. As long as KO Ninja does not hit a slow spot, he might be able to maintain that first place spot. Matsuda and MWAGA keeping second and third. Buleman is trying to push up on MWAGA, trying to get that third spot for the qualifying for the finals. It makes a big point difference if you can get into the top 6. We are a point-based season, so the champion is based on, there we go. KO Ninja, Matsuda, and MWAGA coming in first, second, and third, followed by Buleman and Phalos. That is the start of our first race for the Champions Cup.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. It'll be interesting to see what happens as we kind of go through the season. But the Ninjas coming in. Buleman, I know that your internet was very spotty, but I can't. He's in Mallorca. I mean, that's not bad. If you're gonna not have internet, that's not a bad place to not have it. So congrats to everyone. Good racing. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back for Heat 2 while we get the drivers all ready for that. In the meantime, here's a quick little commercial break from our corporate sponsor, the UPX Podcast.
Today's race brought to you by the UPX Podcast. Catch them Thursday nights at 9:15 p.m. Eastern.
The Upland Podcast with the property expert. If it's happening in Upland, it's the place you want to check first. With your host too stupid to win and thank me later. Bringing the strategy, news, and cool charts with all the data. This is Upland, where the metaverse goes down. Genesis, San Fran, to Rio, and all around. Don't miss a week, you never know what they'll say next. It's the Upland Property Experts, baby, UPX.
All right. I always like that, and I'm always kind of like in the background. They've had that theme for like 3 years now, and so it's kind of nice to see that going, and they're still going strong. Thursday nights, just last night, you're able to catch the show and hear about everything that's going on in Upland. We have Heat 2 getting set up. SC Kicker, I hope he's around. Let's see what's going on. So, Elijah, a lot has happened since we first talked about cars and racing in Upland 2.5 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You've done quite a bit, and you even have some extra projects going on.
Yeah, a whole lot, man. A whole lot.
Give us a little bit about what's going on in how it relates to the racing economy / automotive kind of stuff with the Real Note and what you got going on.
Well, El Sereno, home of the Real Note LA, has more than 7,900 properties. So that vast space allows for an infinite amount of possibilities as far as businesses and business plans. As far as racing, because so much is going on in the Real Note, I could spend 20 minutes talking about it. I'm not, but pinpointing straight into racing, we have one thing that we have going on, and I see that is happening in the community. I even seen it on the HQL track, looking good. The community members are pitching in, bringing in their map assets. So when they manufacture something in Upland, then the person can actually put it on the property where they want, and it shows up in the race car game. That was something we planned for a long time ago, but to be able to manipulate it now and make plans around it, and it functions in real time. I think that's a big thing that we're doing. So right now we're making layer 2 objects, where Upland Racing is kind of a layer 2. It's attached to layer 1, but the Upland Racing is in a sense a layer 2.
Right.
So just like you want your map assets to show up in Upland Racing, you want them to also show up in other layer 2 immersive experiences. So we're taking those same racetrack map assets and incorporating them into the layer 2. Right now we have stadium seating, which is the track stands, but where they'll be out on, if you have them on your property, you can actually sit in them in layer 2. So we're just trying to create more immersion with the map assets.
Yeah, and the stuff that you've talked about with the layer 2 and some of the ideas you have for bringing value to Upland assets into layer 2. I know Thank Me Later, was looking at that too with the UpX World. I know you've been working on that since the very beginning. You had one of the first non-Upland purple dots in the game with the Real Note Theater, right?
Right.
So
yeah, that's exactly what we had. It's been a while, man.
It's been kind of crazy with everything that's been happening. How do you feel about the idea of planes?
I think it's cool. I think if they have a passenger recreational plane that they're ready to release. So if they have that, I'm looking forward to their cargo plane, since I do manufacture, and they say we're going to need to, transport our goods to and fro. So I'm looking forward to the just like they have the semi truck on ground. I'm thinking the semi truck of the air will be the cargo plane. So I'm looking forward to cargo planes. Not trying to skip past this plane release, because I definitely want an airplane. If I can get one at Genesis Week, But,
so you think that's going to be, last year at Genesis Week, it was the go-karts. So you think the airplane is going to be the thing at Genesis Week?
I think so.
Yeah. All right, here we go. We're ready to race. Let me get this going. Oh man, they've already started. Let's get this.
Okay.
And TB. Oh, what a move by SC Kicker. The ninjas are stepping up, trying to block each other. Sam Mahoney is in there. He was Rookie of the Year for the stock car race, won the champion, the SEC 24. Wow. Courier making big moves. SE Kicker found a little bit of a slow spot there, but they have bunched up. I did not expect bunching up on this track. Look at that. Wow. Okay, this is going to be an interesting final. They're not making it. TB stepping. TB has a couple of meta ventures on the URL HQ track, so maybe he considers this his home track.
I may need to bring a meta venture over because I have some property. I think I have some on-track properties.
You do, and you actually, I think, have a purple dot. I think you have a theater there.
Yep. So we're gonna build up the trackside ones that I don't have any structures on. Get something over there.
Yeah, no, little by little. So we still see SC Kicker, Sam Mahoney, and TB 125 bringing up 1, 2, and 3. Courier and Wanderer 1976 in 4th and 5th. And that, I think that was it. Oh no, okay, we're in the final lap. Let's see what happens. This is either where people make it or break it, right? Oh, look at that. Sam Mahoney was saving some turbos.
You don't want that to happen in the final lap.
Oh, yeah. Look at the gap that Sam Mahoney created. There's a reason he was Rookie of the Year and the champion for the stock car. Oh, did you see him block?
Wait a minute. That's a good recovery.
SE Kicker went right around him.
That's a good recovery.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. I do got to say, TB 125 went old school. He's actually racing in the Snowman. This goes back to like when we first started racing in URL and we were trying to figure out if EEs made a difference. And we had this whole little kind of side thing going about the Snowman being the fastest block explorer. It wasn't. And it was all but it was fun to speculate. All right. So SC Kicker, Sam Mahoney, and TB 125 move up to the final heat. We're going to do another quick commercial while I try to figure out who has the pole position for the final heat and see what happens. But let's go back to commercial and we'll be right back as soon as I find it. All right. I am so glad that Mashef was able to get those commercials loaded into the system, because I would just be talking here, maybe trying to dance. All right. So for the final race, we are going to have SC Kicker taking the pole position with a time of 2:28.117. We have Sam Mahoney, TB125, KO Ninja, and Amwaga joining him in the final race. So those are some serious drivers. I'm looking forward to seeing how this race pans out. SC Kicker is starting the lobby, and we'll get it going. Earlier, I was talking about the point structure. So we have 8 races over about 9 or 10 weeks, and each race we do kind of a reverse point value. So if you take first, you'll get 10 points, second gets 9 points, third gets 8 points, and then after 8 races, whoever has the most points is the season's champion. And consistency is definitely the key to being able to be at the top for the top 3 spots. So it's going to be interesting. I think we'll have some surprises this year. I know that we have some racetrack commissioners / track owners that are going to be giving and throwing in some extra little things for all of the participants, or at least the top 6 racers or top 3. So I think that there's going to be a lot of little surprises for our trial. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they can come up with. All right. SC Kicker, whenever you're ready with the lobby. Oh, and SC Kicker, this is a 100 UpX lobby. Now, the reason we do staking on the racing is that we do have the myupland.info URL leaderboard. And because of the way that the structure works, anything that's written to the blockchain is going to be a bit of a challenge. But anything that is anything that's within the system cannot be read because it's proprietary to Upland. But if it goes onto the blockchain, then we can track it. For it to go onto the blockchain, there has to be a transaction. And that's where the staking comes in. So when someone stakes, it gets written to the blockchain, and that information is read by my Upland info and put up on the leaderboard. And that is brought to you by Buleman, who's been racing with us, and he's part of the Castle Elite Racing. Actually, Buleman, if you want to post the link to your leaderboard, go ahead and post that on the comments. All right, we're still waiting on getting the lobby set up. There might have been a small issue. Yeah, this is fun. Elijah, you're just sitting there looking cool, man.
I appreciate it. I guess we'd rather be waiting for the lobby to get set up than be late for the race. That's cool.
We did start on time, so I don't think Mass Jeff will be able to get on my case for that one.
Yeah.
So Caesar, or not Caesar, CR24R15. I forget Caesari. I forget how they actually call themselves, but he has a really good question for you, Elijah.
Okay.
What is your secret to running so many successful projects, dude?
The secret is God, man. I pray. I give all praises to my Heavenly Father, man, because when you're busy, but you have trigger thoughts in your mind, man. So yeah, that's the secret. But just stay focused and dedicated. This is and don't let anybody tell you can't do any types of projects, because this metaverse space is so big. If you come up with the idea, then go ahead and push it forward.
Exactly. No, it's I remember when I first met you, and you had this crazy idea of bringing YouTubers into Upland and creating a little community for them, and that was like your first idea for the real node.
Yep, and that's still a part of the core of it. And actually, as we're growing, developing the layer 2, the core area is still reserved for the YouTubers. We're actually waiting for the ability to rent out the properties. Once we get the smart contracts through Upland where we can rent out the layer 1 properties, then we're going to go full force into the YouTubers core, because then I can issue out each property to the YouTubers. But yes, we're going to have a YouTubers core at the Real Node LA. Are we set up? You're looking like the room is ready.
All right. Let's see. Oh, he has it as a public race. Let's try to get in there before someone else. Actually, go ahead and start it. Wait, I don't see it. Oh, crap. Is it going? Sorry.
Someone was detected at your front door.
Whoops. I can't find it. Crap. Where is it? All right, it says it's public, but I can't find it. Crap. Let me refresh. There it is. Okay. Go for it. Go, go, go. All right. All right. Let's start it. Oh, shoot. I can't enter. Oh. Yes. All right. Let's see if we can get this going. Hopefully it's not too late. All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. So they're off. KO Ninjas is going. Oh, there was. Oh, see. Well, all that skidding and blocking, that's going to happen. And look at MWAGA took full advantage of all that skidding and to kind of just turbo right to the front in front of KO Ninja and SE Kicker. The Ninjas trying to block people out. Where the team dynamics comes in. You have Matsuda and Sam Mahoney from Mahoney MV Motors. You have the Ninjas from Hyde Park Ninjas Racing Team. And then TB 125 representing Castle Elite Racing. MWAGA keeping to the front. KO Ninja trying to make a little, trying to close in on him. But MWAGA has a massive lead. Look at that. You can't even see him when we kind of jump over. Oh, there he is. KO Ninja and SE Kicker right behind them. Matsuda keeping up with the top three. Sam Mahoney in the back with TB 125 pushing behind them, hitting some slow spots. Tried to get past Sam Mahoney, but Sam Mahoney turbos out of there. Again, we're seeing some bunching up. We have coming in on the turn, getting ready to finish the second lap. MWAGA in the first spot, KO Ninja second, SE Kicker, Matsuda, Sam Mahoney. You see how they all kind of came in together. MWAGA is the one sitting in the front looking pretty right now.
That lead's starting to tighten up, though. It's getting big.
There it is. Oh, SE Kicker with and at Matsuda, MWAGA, everybody trying to push in. Matsuda saving those turbos for this third lap. SE Kicker coming back, taking it back from Matsuda. MWAGA fighting for his spot, making sure to keep the second spot. SE Kicker took a little hiatus, but I think he's trying to kick down some doors. See what I did there, Elijah?
I see.
Color commentary.
I see.
There we go. And we have SE Kicker, MWAGA, Matsuda, TB, KO Ninja, and Sam Mahoney in sixth place. This was actually a great outing for the Ninjas. SE Kicker coming back after being away for a few seasons, coming back and kicking down the door with a first place finish. That's how you say hello. MWAGA, strong racer. You see him a lot in the URS, the Upland Racing season, up in the leaderboard. Matsuda, we all know, has been a heavy contender and fighter. TB 125. Last season, he fell off a little, and it was that he just didn't have enough time to practice the tracks. And it does make a difference. I mean, racing in Upland is no longer just press the button and wait and see what happens.
Right. Yeah, so, you got to race.
You got to race. You got to have strategy. You have to time things. You got to find the fast lane. It's wow.
That was a wild race, man. That was a wild race. Just all of that congestion and that the fact that he came through at the last minute and won the race. You just can't tell. You can't tell who's going to win.
Yeah, no. And here we go. We can now. I know what to officially call Sess is Sess. So there we go. Hey, Sess, shout out. He's been involved. He's involved. Been to the races, to most of our races. Big Hyde Park Ninja fan. I think he's happy with the results today with the Ninjas coming in and doing pretty good, getting some points on the season. It was just a great race. What do you think, Elijah? First race of the Champions Cup.
I think it was an excellent race. What a place to have it. Now that's one of my favorite tracks now. And I like that short track, the fact that you can get in so many races so fast, and it was such an aggressive battle. So it reminded me of a level on an old game I used to play called Shipment, like just a tight race, so strong melee. You usually don't see skidding that much on a race, but that was a lot of battling. So shout out to everybody. Y'all fought for it. We watched you, but it happened how it happened.
And I got to tell you, this was the easy track on the season. I don't know if people have seen, the season, and actually let me go find the image so I can share that with everyone. But this is technically the easy track. When we look at some of the other tracks and just check out what we have here, I mean, it's kind of crazy. We have Mercer Parkside, right? And I mean, look at that little tight hairpin turn right there. I mean, it looks like the sighting on a rifle.
Can you imagine when damage comes into play and you're taking turns like that, you blow a whole tire?
Oh yeah, no, that's when the economy of racing and all that is really going to be interesting, because when you have to repair damage, when you have to repair, tires and wear, or you add the consumables that Upland has been talking about, right? So that you can kind of modify what you have. It's going to be awesome. Then you have the Century City Circuit. Century Circuit. There's Century Circuit and the Century Circuit. So this one, I mean, look at those sharp turns. It's going to be another interesting one. Twin Lakes Race. That one's sponsored by Hyde Park Ninjas. The Century City sponsored by Mahoney, MV Motors. Mercer Parkside is sponsored by Upco. We have the Northumberland track. So the Northumberland track, that's the UpX podcast track, and this is the one they're sponsoring the Genesis Week event. We will be, racing during the Genesis Week. UpX podcast is going to be on site. You're going to be, I know that the Real Node is going to be there representing. We have Tyner Central. That's Dr. Tid, and he's actually sponsoring that one too. And look at Tyner North. We did Tyner North last season, and all the drivers loved that track and how technical it was. This one looks even crazier, right? And then the Schools Out Speedway, that's Uplando's track. Another track that people really enjoyed. And then, hey, we have the Starship Enterprise. I mean, the Ithaca Run. I don't know. Do you see a Starship Enterprise when you look at this? I do.
You can't. You know what else? It looks like a bird sitting on a tree branch, like a tilted tree branch and a bird at the top.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So 3 little birds.
Well, at least one.
At least one. So I mean, the URL HQ loop was the easiest track this season, and even that was competitive. So I can only imagine what the rest of the season is going to look like. I'm looking forward to it. The drivers did an amazing job today. I don't know, Elijah, what do you think?
I think they did an excellent job. I think everybody fought for it. I mean, all you saw was boosters getting pressed, boosters and skidding, and that's just how it is. I don't know what's going to happen when they bring in the consumables, but it's getting exciting.
It's well, and it's going to be interesting, right? Because the S1R is one of the top, right? When you look at the score, it's one of the top ones. So what can you add to the S1R? And obviously, as commissioners, and you're one of the commissioners in the URL, we're going to have to take a look at Do we allow modifications to cars, or do we keep it stock? Right.
Right. I think it's stock, man. I'm the only reason why my vote will be stock is because with the variety of consumables that you can bring, so it could become a pay to win scenario. As a like today was pure skill to win, and if you didn't come with the skill, because everybody it was an equal platform, all Series 1Rs, and everybody had the same amount of boosters, so it was pure skill today, no exceptions. So that made it exciting.
I like that, and I agree. I think that keeping it stock. Also in URL, we've always talked about kind of like the elite cars in Upland, right? We race the stock car competition, right? We race the S1Rs, the S1Es, and we'll be talking about the go-karts down the line too, and how we're going to have a special a special call for carts as well. So I think keeping it stock, one, it does bring it down to your skill level, but I do think that there's going to be a lot of fun that can be had by other racing leagues, by just players doing little. I know we wanted to do drag strips so you can kind of race one-on-one, 1v1, and race for pink slips kind of thing. It's like you can actually get kind of crazy and have a lot of fun with different things. And when you're modifying your car and no one really knows what you have in it, that's kind of like straight up street racing.
And you know what though, this is undiscovered territory, where somebody may come out, where if they modify the car, it may be plain and simple right there on the blockchain for us all to see. And in that case, maybe we'll come up with a standard. Like the most you can do is have tires that heat up, slick tires or something, or put a don't let them go crazy and have can shoot their opponent's tire out in front of them while they're racing.
Mario Kart, right? I know that.
Right, yeah, because that may be a permanent thing. But you shoot somebody's tire out and it may really happen to their NFT.
Well, you mentioned tires, and one of the things that I remember from very early days, the idea of being able to do weather. So there would be three elements to racing, right? It was the car, the block explorer, and the track. And the track, some of the parameters the track had was weather. So if you have rain, being able to put wet tires versus slicks on your car so that you're not sliding, especially because we do see that you have sliding and spinning out, right? So being able to prep the tires for the weather, that can make a big difference. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with consumables, especially as the block explorers, abilities come into play, and the tracks themselves, the attributes for the tracks come into play. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, I think consumables may be okay as long as the overall commission understand how they function and and just set them as the standard. When you really look at it, because you say if they're not that expensive and everybody have access to it, then maybe it may be okay. So I guess we got to just watch as it goes. Yeah.
All right. Well, everyone, thank you for joining us for our first race of the Champions Cup season 2024. I'm your host, Dak. We had our guest co-host, Elijah. Shout out to Mass Chef. Looking forward to having you back soon.
Nice.
And again, today's winner, SC Kicker with a 228.606. Mwaga coming in second, Matsuda third, TB 125 fourth, KO Ninja fifth, and Sam Mahoney in sixth spot. Everyone earned some points, and looking forward to next week. Again, next week, Friday, same bat channel, same bat time. Do people even know what that means?
Yeah, of course. Everybody knows that.
All right, Elijah, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Thanks,
and, we'll just kind of exit with a little, kind of give a shout out again to our corporate sponsor. Bye, everyone.
Today's race brought to you by the UPX Podcast. Catch them Thursday nights at 9:15 p.m. Eastern.
The Upland Podcast with the property expert. If it's happening in Upland, it's the place you want to check first. With your host who's stupid to win and thank me later. Bringing the strategy, news, and cool charts with all the data. This is Upland, where the metaverse goes down. Genesis, San Fran, to Rio, and all around. Don't miss a week, you never know what they'll say next. It's the Upland Property Experts, baby, you